In the 2 years since AMD last launched a Threadripper CPU, I got braces, I got a fire truck, I cooled a bunch of stuff, and I prepared for this day. This day of todays, when I will unbox, install, and find out how many points AMD's king of the Threadrippers, the Ryzen 9980X, can get us in Cinebench and various other points measuring softwares. Can 64 Zen 5 cores and over 300 million bytes of cache ascend us to dizzying heights, the likes of which high-end desktops have never seen before? Or is this going to be a classic modern, yeah, I guess the new one's faster. To find out, I'm going to have to brave Shimada Peak. After I brave today's segue to our sponsor. ThreatLocker. Everywhere you store data can be susceptible to cyber attacks, and that even includes plugged-in USB drives. Learn how ThreatLocker's storage control can prevent unwanted users from accessing your company's secrets by using our link in the video description. When it comes to the numbers on the spec sheet, AMD's new Threadripper 9980X has more in common with the last gen than it seems to have different. It's got the same number of processing cores, 64 cores and 128 threads, with the same, admittedly massive, L2 and L3 caches, operating at the same base clock frequency of 3.2 gigahertz, in the same STR5 socket at the same 350 watt TDP. So, AMD, what took 2 years? I don't know, how about 80 freaking lanes of PCIe Gen 5. That's almost double the piddly 48 lanes of yesteryear's 7980X, and okay, yes, Intel's Xeon W3500 series can do up to 112 lanes of PCIe Gen 5, but I think the folks who care about that are probably more likely to be interested in AMD's new Threadripper Pro chips that launched literally the day that we were reviewing this script, but then AMD didn't send those over for comparison, so I guess if I want transparency in my CPU launches, I'll have to do it myself with this transparent screwdriver, available now at lttstore.com. Anywho, there's more to love about the chips that we do have here today, so let's focus on these. AMD was already ahead of their competition in performance, and the best got even better today. The move from AMD's older Zen 4 architecture to Zen 5 netted them a pretty juicy double-digit performance increase, even at the exact same clock speed, and adding a bit of extra spice is the fact that the higher core count chips this generation should be able to boost even higher, as high as 5.4 gigahertz in lightly threaded loads. And that's out of the box. As is tradition, AMD's latest Threadripper chips are factory unlocked for overclocking. But before we get to that, I want to talk about another out-of-the-box improvement, and that's memory. Threadripper's quad-channel memory controller is going from being rated for a piddly 5,200 megatransfers per second to a juicy 6,400 megatransfers per second. Now, we've got only 128 gigs of this overclockable ECC registered RDIMM memory to play with today, courtesy of AMD, who provided this hardware for testing. But the 9980X supports up to 1 terabyte of memory. That's up to 4 256 gig modules. What a time to be alive. Pies. Now, the motherboard isn't the main focus for today, but I do want to throw some storage in it, and I can use this as an opportunity to highlight the kinds of configurations that are possible thanks to all the PCIe lanes on this new CPU. Down here, we've got 5 PCIe by 16 slots. Now, they're all not running at by 16 Gen 5, but these two are. This is Gen 5 by 8, and these two are Gen 4 by 4 and Gen 4 by 16. We've then still got PCIe lanes for dual Gen 5 slots, another Gen 4 slot, and plenty of PCIe left for unbelievable onboard connectivity. I'm talking Wi-Fi 7, super fast USB, and both 2.5 gig and 10 gig networking. And because there's so much PCIe on the CPU, those are all running without any kind of switching. So you're not gonna have to worry about bottlenecks if you're hitting your AI accelerator super hard here and your high-speed storage array and your high-speed networking all at the same time. Of course, it won't do any of that without a power supply. Ooh. Now, the keen-eyed among you might have noticed that this is a 1600 watt power supply. But Linus, you might ask, you mentioned a 350 watt TDP earlier. What's the point of this kind of ludicrous overkill? Well, that's a great question. As it turns out, AMD not only allows overclocking, they even provided some guidelines for what you might need, and is this right? They recommend a 1500 watt power supply. I'm gonna need a minute to process this, which is probably fine because it's gonna take me a solid 15 minutes to wire this thing up on top of the usual dual 8-pin CPU power connectors that you would find on a high-end platform like this. For the CPU alone, there are 2 more 12-volt PCIe 8-pin connectors, and then to help with auxiliary power for the PCIe slots, there's a 6-pin and an 8-pin PCIe, and that ignores, what about second 24-pin? Although, this one is less about providing more power and more about allowing you to run dual power supplies that will both turn on at the same time when you turn on the system. That is flippin' hilarious. I haven't plugged in anything but the motherboard yet. And we're gonna need some pretty special cooling for this as well. Threadripper specific AIO uses a triple 120mm radiator, and you notice the pump block unit is pretty low profile. That's because the pump is actually here, embedded in the radiator. Cool beans. I hate myself for saying this, but wow, this is a pretty reasonable size for a 5090. All right, big moment. Oh wow, that was quick. I was actually expecting it to take a very, 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 very long time to boot. Apparently the first time we tried to fire this up, it took about 5 minutes for memory training, which, I mean, compared to Epic, not even that bad. Hey, there we go. 128 gigs, went right to DDR5 6400 because that's not an Expo profile, that's just the speed this flippin' stuff runs at. Man, that's really surprising for our high-end desktop, almost workstation platform. Our SSD's picked up. All we gotta do is, woo! Okay, we've seen this before, but we've never seen this with, well, okay, we've probably seen this with Zen 5 cores, but not Threadripper ones that run this fast. Now, obviously we know that a system like this is not meant for gaming, but I mean, come on, you got 64 cores.
Running at like 5.4 gigahertz?
Up to? Why shouldn't you game on it?
That's basically a gaming CPU right there.
Let's play some Cyberpunk. Did we talk about pricing yet?
It's
Oh, I wasn't gonna tell them yet.
It's
And this is where they all tune out.
Yeah. I mean, we're still getting like 1% of like 80, 90 in the elevator.
I don't want to include this.
But it's 95% usage on the GPU.
I mean, no, you're not wrong.
13%.
Whoa, what the hell?
CPU. What?
Is our CPU at 97 degrees? Do you smell it though? Hold on, let me just. Okay.
Yeah.
I think frame view just is not
There's too many threads, it's confused.
configured for this, yes.
128 threads.
Yeah, we're only drawing
100 watts.
100 watts
Yeah,
and we're
this is
doing like
fine.
48 degrees,
Yeah.
so. Now you might think, hey, if it does it so effortlessly, it must be the fastest gaming CPU. But that's not really the case. We benchmarked this puppy against the top of the line of AMD's regular consumer desktop chips, the 9950X3D, and it mostly keeps up, mostly, thanks to its high clock speeds, but in Cyberpunk, it exhibited some anomalous performance that AMD was able to replicate on their side. So, neat, I guess? Good gaming performance for a lot more money. Like a lot more. We got the price this morning, right?
Yeah. It's $5,000. It's the same as the last Threadripper. It didn't go up.
Hey! Hey! Let's go! To be clear, like the screwdriver, as excited as we are about something not going up in price, buying into a platform like this at any price is pretty dumb. Even if it's just for bragging rights, that's still dumb. But it doesn't mean this is a dumb product.
To be clear, he forgot to change the setting off from 10 minutes to just like render once, but it's done. It already restarted. That was under a minute. We're at 9:09.
6870 points?
That's a lot for 24.
What did our 16-core Ryzen get?
2427.5.
Okay, that is a lot. This is just a lotter.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second. I'm running the stress test version, which actually is
yeah, we should look at our wattage and
pretty good
temps.
opportunity here.
Yo, 65 degrees.
That's totally fine and 350 watts. exactly what we'd expect based on the TDP of this chip. But what's interesting is we haven't enenabled PBO yet, and right now it's only running at, dude, average effective clock, 4.3.
Pretty good. Across 64 cores? That's pretty wild.
Dude, this thing rips. So gaming, pretty dumb. But if you're at work, stuck on a consumer platform or an older workstation that's holding back your productivity, by all means, pick up a scribe driver and write a polite memo to procurement to ask for one of these babies. But with that said, if you're already on last-gen Threadripper, even though this chip is just a drop-in replacement, unless you need the extra PCIe lanes or specifically more memory bandwidth, it might not be worth the expense. Or is it? An example where you might really benefit from a Threadripper 9000 would be AI and machine learning. While there is no NPU or neural processor on this thing, or even an integrated GPU at all, let's be real. If you're spending this kind of money on a workstation, it's not to run AI on your stupid CPU, it's to take advantage of all those PCIe lanes to run as many GPUs as possible to form a little local supercluster and then let those chew up your inference models. For funsies, we did run some quick Procyon AI computer vision tests on the CPU, and as expected, it's not for that. It actually even lost to our 9950X 3D, probably because of higher latency between the CPU memory modules and also the lower boost frequency. It actually even lost to a GTX 1060, a $300 GPU from 2016. But when you've got 80 PCIe Gen 5 lanes, you're gonna be hooking up quad 5090s or even workstation grade cards, which is gonna make our 1060 look like a bad joke. So we agree with AMD's assessment that Threadripper 9000 is good for AI.
Yes.
It's just more as a supporting cast member.
Yeah, like me.
Rather than an AI compute star.
Not like you. It's not an AI compute
What does
star.
this even mean?
I don't know.
Let's see how fast it runs some stuff it's actually intended for. Like spec workstation. While AMD focused on Intel comparisons in their reviewer's guide, we recognize that nobody cares about what Intel's doing in workstation right now. So instead, we put it up against AMD's top consumer chip, the Ryzen 9 9950X 3D, to see what the justification is for spending 10x, almost 8x, on your CPU. 7-zip? Pretty compelling. We're looking at nearly double the performance in both compression and decompression.
Yeah, it costs more than 5 times as much money. But this is what winning looks like. Let's go. I don't care if we barely win, we've won. Actually, no, we won by a lot.
Y Cruncher, sub 8 seconds.
Delicious
Moon pies.
Moon pies, what a time to be alive.
And how about spec workstation? Here, we go from a 2.12 CPU score on our 9950X 3D to 4.16 on our latest Threadripper. We see some obliteration in the actual performance across a range of CPU-oriented professional applications. What a monster.
Speaking of, it was 3 times faster in Blender rendering our monster benchmark scene in just 1 minute.
Man, I remember when finishing BMW in a minute was impressive.
Probably does it in 10 seconds now.
It probably spends more time spooling up the job than actually doing it. What about Godot Compile though? I mean, after all, that might be something you'd care about if you're buying a processor like this, and
wow. That poor 9950X 3D.
Next up is Handbrake, and it's better, but not that much better, at least not for AV1. Maybe X264?
Nah, it's about the same uplift there as well. So, there's uplift.
But not as much as I'd like for the price.
Not 2 or 3 times as fast like we're seeing some of these other benchmarks.
But, hear me out.
Sure.
All of this is while we're encumbered by a measly 350 watt power limit.
That's very true.
What if we just turn up the turbulent juice?
PBO! Let's go!
Next thing we're gonna do is we're going into Precision Boost to Overdrive. Advanced, we're gonna set our PPT limit to, I don't know, John said something astronomical, so I'm gonna put 1 billion.
That's good.
We're also gonna turn up our maximum CPU boost clock override to 200, so that's across all cores.
Let's go.
And then for our curve optimizer, we're gonna set all cores to -5. Good luck, everybody.
Sick. Let's see if this little AIO can handle it. It's a 360 mil rad, which is great,
It's great. Good job, Silverstone.
Honestly, it handled 350 watts pretty well.
Easy.
Let's be real here.
Easy money.
Yeah.
And it warms my arm. And my heart. Cinebench multi-core, here we go.
41C, 48C, 48C, 52C. It's only 390. Okay, now it's pulling it.
Yeah.
400 watts, 390.
390 watts now. Honestly, not as much as I expected. In fairness, these are kind of the AMD recommended settings. And it's clocking higher. Dude, we're hitting 4.5 gigahertz on 64 cores and at only 390 watts.
Yeah.
Like,
We can go
I mean
higher.
that. I mean that. That's kind of incredible. I think we can do more though.
You think so?
I think we can do more. We've set our peak current limits to 1 million milliamps. We increased our precision boost overdrive scaler to 3x. We set the platform thermal throttle limit to 100 degrees.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And then the one other thing that I was looking at in here is maybe we should disable this. Yeah, just let her rip.
Yeah, they're good.
Let her rip. And then peak current control, who needs that?
Not me.
Whoa, buddy.
72 degrees, 550 watts, 78 degrees. Yes.
I think
It's going
I hear
now.
the fans going.
Oh yeah.
Oh, buddy.
78, 533.
Look at this frequency.
4.85. You think we can hit 5 gigahertz all core if we get a bigger cooler on it?
I mean,
80C?
anything's possible. I feel like it's got more to give, but we're thermally limited. If only there was some way to get it colder. Our chiller's broken right now. I just don't really have any ideas for,
We got a lot of ice.
Seriously, we're going ice bucket? We're doing the ice bucket challenge like it's 2018? When was ice bucket challenge?
2016, actually? No, it's probably earlier than that.
Oh God, I'm so old. Here we go. Oh God. What's happening? Why are we doing this? That's horrible. Why would you tell me to do that? Under normal circumstances, we would do a bunch of insulation on the motherboard to ensure that condensation doesn't damage it, but we're gonna be running this for such a short period of time. So as long as we keep an eye on the outside of the block, I'm not actually worried about it being a problem. Here, this is coming really soon, lttstore.com. And compatible with our little key holder power bar holders. So you can stick your bits wherever they need to go. I think it's this one. Now I'm gonna do a good job of testing this pump. Bet.
Where's our block?
Oh, that would have been terrible. I just had this running down to the floor. Blah, blah, etc. EK, they've gone through some.
We've had it for a long time, but you know, these are all forward and backwards compatible with Threadripper.
Oh, cool.
At least on this socket.
Yeah.
So even though it's an older block.
It'll work on the new STR5. Oh, shoot.
Yeah, there's a little bit of gunk in there.
Oh, balls.
Is it too much?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we only gotta run it for like 10 minutes.
Okay, there we go. And yikes. What the heck kind of water did we put in here? That's the problem, is any junk that does grow in a loop or anything that does contaminate it usually ends up in the CPU block because that's where all these tight little fins are, you know? Obviously, this kind of setup wouldn't work for a long-term deployment, but we're just gonna see if we can push this thing a little further. You want 5 gigahertz?
Yeah. We saw 4.8, 4.85.
I know, but it's on 64 cores.
Yeah, but now we've got a bucket of ice.
That's true.
Do it.
All right, how's our temps? Casual, 13 degrees. Let's go, boys.
Yes. What?
What?
It's getting
What?
cold.
This is amazing.
We've done.
I had no idea what you guys were doing when you said bucket.
It's cool cooling solutions for cool kids.
Yeah, we've done this multiple times.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well,
look,
what do you think? How hot do you think it's
our
ice?
CPU is at like 8C. Like this works. This is not a stupid thing to do.
Yeah. Well.
Okay, long term maybe, but temporary, it's great.
Yeah.
365 watts.
Wait, what?
485. No, it's still going. Just let it go.
Okay, she's going. She's cooking.
I don't know if
she's
it'll go
cooking.
past 500 though. 490. even
Same
50C.
clock speed.
Yeah, we're stuck at 4.85.
Wow, we weren't thermally limited.
No, I'm whelmed. Appropriately whelmed. Not over or under, just appropriately whelmed.
Good chip, and
Yeah.
shockingly, not that hard to cool. So if you were to build a workstation around this thing, I mean,
360mm AIO is honestly way good enough.
and you can chuck it right in the existing machine you had that was already handling a Threadripper because it's running at exactly the same TDP. I set the multiplier to 50. PBO let me down. And we're at 630 watts now, so my scale here is not sufficient anymore. No, we didn't cut the screen count. Oh, she's going, boys.
Oh my God, what'd you change?
We're over 5 gigahertz.
Oh, 640 watts? What'd you change?
I just turned the multiplier up. With that said, I don't necessarily know that it's worth upgrading from a 7950X, but I never say no to more performance at the same wattage and core count. And if you do want to pick up anything we showed today, hey, I never say no to you clicking the affiliate link in the video description below. As for everyone else who doesn't need one of these, maybe we'll link some sensible chips for gamers down there. And make sure you're subscribed for our upcoming look at Threadripper Pro, which is coming to the WRX 90 chipset with support for up to 128 PCIe Gen 5 lanes, up to 96 cores, and up to 8 channels of DDR5 RDIMMs, supporting up to 2 terabytes of RAM. My goodness. Whew, getting all hot and bothered. Time to cool off with this
Refreshing ice bucket.
to our sponsor, ThreatLocker. Imagine if someone could unlock the door to your home and steal all your stuff just by giving it a few knocks. Well, ThreatLocker's storage control lets your IT team provide application-level access to storage locations while blocking all other users and programs from accessing it. Basically, the idea is your door can only open if you're around to let someone in. If a storage device is blocked, then the non-approved users will be given a prompt to request access that only administrators can approve. That doesn't just include local folders or networks, but can even include plugged-in USB drives. It can even block cookie access for specific browsers. And you can get a high-level view of every single instance of storage access with a central log that shows exact files that were copied and the device's serial number, whether it's on the network or remote. So don't wait. Take the necessary steps to keep your company's data safe by checking out ThreatLocker's storage control using our link in the video description. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to check out the time we ran Crisis entirely on a CPU, like a many-core CPU like this one, with no GPU. It was cray-cray. Editor's note, this is like in case we can get more. Oh God, it can do even more.
All crashed.
Oh.
No, it can't.
We were at 770 watts, 5.3 gigahertz.
Yes. Maybe.
5+ gigahertz, it's really impressive.
That's a lot on 64 cores, yeah.